Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. And some of this stuff is going to look like, again, the numbers are going to go down a little, but I want people to look closely at the differences in what I'm doing. I'm at this point trying to do the hardest versions possible. If you guys notice on the bench today, went pretty much definitely flat back. I'm taking the widest grip possible, meaning I normally am really, really weak the wider I go. I built up that pinkies on the rings to where, I was doing solid rep work with 315, but with an arch, wrist straps, everything. So today I'm like, I wanted to go a little further. Again, I want to really focus on hypertrophy right now while I'm cutting. I want to try to recomp as much as possible while losing body fat. Again, I think it'll be good overall. And so in a lot of that case, I'm going to have to really think like a bodybuilder while still maintaining big, heavy lifts on my big three. So with the benching, it's something I joked about with Lewis from the podcast. We were joking. I'm probably going to have a massive close grip PR. Meaning I just tested around during my warm-up, just grabbed the weight on the close grip too, and it feels so light compared to even pinkies on the rings to me. It's even with the same weights when I put one plate on, it feels like air on close grip. It feels like I had the empty bar. So that kind of happened before, didn't it? Right? Every time I've worked wide grip, I've gone back over to close grip, and I have big close grip PRs no matter what. So I think, if I hop back on the platform anytime in the near future, I may ramp up to some close grip before I do so, only because I'm stronger close grip. I'm building better chest and better hypertrophy with this flat back, wider grip stuff. Like even today, the 225, these were heavy. Notice how slow I have to go on the eccentric. It's because it's so unstable for me. But by that same token, again, those slow eccentrics, what are they going to do for hypertrophy? But even 225, like the sets at 8 pause were really hard with that crazy wide grip. And I felt a really good chest pump. And that's the main thing. And then I also decided my shoulders are now healthy enough I can do pull-ups. Instead of just chins, only recently within the last couple of weeks I've been able to do chins again. Now I can do pull-ups, and my God, did they light my back up. Even with just that 25 pounds and even just the body weight. But here's the thing, they're all going to have to be from a dead hang. I'm continuing to work that mobility, but I've got to do them from a dead hang. Goal, I'd like to get to 20 from a dead hang. Now, if I gain back strength again, and of course I continue to lose some body weight as I trim down, that's not that unreasonable. Okay. So again, now we're getting over to the hardest versions of exercises. Very wide grip benching, paused with a flat back. No supportive equipment, no wrist wraps, no belt. See where I'm going with this? Yes, I'm forced to use less weight. But what's happening at the muscular level? And I think people forget that it doesn't mean the bench is weaker. It means if I gain muscle when I go back to any form of power versions of these movements, I'm probably going to have big ass PRs. It's going to end up happening. And again, anyone who is laughing about that doesn't understand training. Anyone who dislikes me and sees that should be worried, who wants to see me fail. You guys know what's going to happen. So what's the name of the game? Everything is about mechanical tension at the muscular level. Benching that way. Now I'm doing nice, decently wide grip pull-ups, dead hang. Incline bench, same thing. Notice how close I am to those J-hooks. All right, we're taking it all wide. We're pausing it, touching my clavicle on every rep. All right, 185 was hard for this. Now guys are like, yeah, but you hit 225. Yeah, but was I bracing harder, arching a little more? I was gripping a little narrower. This is hard. And again, I feel the tremendous stretch through the whole upper chest. My entire upper half of my chest hurt at the end of these sets. It literally hurt. Like just burning. Supersetted that with rows. So what am I doing here? I'm like, let me take the weight down just a hair and get some good reps and get a pump and a stretch in my lats. Because the reps are kind of low on the pull-ups. Okay? Let's get some quality volume in. Get the stretch. I'm trying to stretch on every rep. I'm taking these strict. Now you guys can see me do this 225 for 8, so just a little swing. Now I'm getting crazy strict, getting as much stretch as I can in the lats and the traps. Okay. Also means I'm going to have to be more careful with biceps. My biceps are getting less loading, and I need them to grow. But notice the volumes: 3 sets of flat bench, 3 sets of incline, so on. 3 sets of everything. Now on the flat bench, the other thing, could I have gotten more reps in the 315? Probably. I could have got a second rep. That felt like a 2-rep max with that crazy wide grip. But what do I get for activation? You know, it's what have I talked about too? A heavy single of any type, even at 90%. And I feel like with that wide grip, that was at least 90%. Again, look how slow I had to move that eccentric. And it felt hard, especially with that pause. Okay. We've got data on that with the heavy work first. We know what it does in the lab. So then come through and do the pump work. But again, notice with all these exercises, now we're getting over to strict stuff, chasing stretches, right? And some of these reps weren't quite as stretchy as they could have been on the rows. I'll keep working on it. I'm not used to doing them this strict, right? And especially this higher reps. Again, got a hell of a burn. Also got good grip training. Because I think what I want to do, the deadlift's going to be my one lift. It's going to be my ego lift. And I think I'm going to quit doing deficits. I think I'm going to go back over to just straight up competition style. Beltless. I think I'm going to use my deadlift bar and just pull off the floor. But I'm going to do a little bit of volume with it too to make sure I get posterior chain to go with all that squatting. Okay. Everything else is going to be oriented towards mechanical tension, lengthened positions. The perk though of doing that heavy single always or heavy low rep set on the benching first though, again, it'll keep the benching strong. For again, having a good competition bench when I need one. But yeah, just messing around with on the warm-ups a little bit. The close grip, I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to work all this wide grip and work it and get stronger and better at it like I've already done with the pinkies on rings and then this other, and then I'm going to go back close grip and it's probably going to be a massive PR, especially if I keep building my triceps. So we're going to get to the tricep training in a minute. All right, but all this, my torso was lit. All this really wide grip pause benching, flat back, incline benching the same way, doing dead hang pull-ups, high rep rows with a stretch. You can see me there. I'm just like, oh my God. Because I superset all of this back and forth. This is all done in a pretty short period of time. Then I get over the arms. Okay, I cut the weight on all the arm work to get even stricter. I've been getting ridiculous DOMs in my triceps. Now we know my triceps are probably my worst muscle still in my upper body. This has been giving me DOMs. I don't get DOMs. I don't get sore from training for the most part. This gave me DOMs. I'm also I'm getting shoulder DOMs from those pullovers now that I'm doing the plate and really focus on stretching. All right, same thing here. Really focusing on this stretch. Tried to just do anything I could to get to 14, 15 reps with this lighter weight. It hurt. Like my whole triceps hurt. I've been getting DOMs from doing these. So it's like, okay, this is this good stretch position. So I also need to start thinking for that on biceps. I wasn't ready to handle incline curls today because I had some novel stuff. I feel like that would be the next thing I need to do is re-add incline curls in. I used to do them. I didn't always get the most out of them. But I feel like now that I've been working on the mobility controlled stuff, I feel like they'll probably bring a lot to the table. All right, so I'm having to bring that weight down just so I don't hurt my tendons on those laying extensions. But I'm getting really, really good tricep DOMs. All right, I'm working the muscle really hard. I'm going to blow those triceps up. Okay, blow the triceps up. All right, for the curls, I'm trying to take these even stricter. I'm like, let me take the weight back down. I've been doing them slightly cheaty as a drag curl. All right, let me go down, focus on the full range of motion, holding it at the bottom in that stretch position, and then just taking it pretty much to failure, which is for me, it was like 15 or so the first couple sets, and then I couldn't even, it was like 12 or something. And I just couldn't do another rep on the last set. It just hung at the bottom. But taking it into that full stretch at the bottom and just training the biceps till they just burn. Okay, it actually felt pretty good. And what I'm having to do with a lot of this, because again, I know we can't isolate muscles, but the thing to think about too is overall recovery. Forcing myself to do the hardest versions possible, get strict, work the muscles on all these movements, because I'm also doing all that squatting. And then I'm going to be doing heavy deadlifts twice a week. Right? That's going to handle all my big structural stuff. Like I'm not going to have extra recovery for that. Can't be having a bunch of extra axial loading and nonsense on my upper day. I've got to keep it tame. I think this is the way to do it. Now, ultimate goal for the triceps and the shoulders will be to get my shoulder health to where I can overhead press again, and possibly even be able to do behind the head extensions, like, seated or standing ones, to again get that stretch. But right now I'm getting the most stretch my triceps have gotten in years. They're getting DOMs. So again, what we're going to do with the biceps, we're going to be, all right, we're going to throw in a good curl, and I might need to start adding incline curls. Again, going to have to probably start light and just get that deep stretch like on these other movements. I'm getting a good stretch here though, so we're making progress. But at this point, as I get leaner, really I need more arms just in general. Okay, let me drop another 8 to 10 pounds of body fat and then put some more muscle on my arms, and then it will be probably a different viewpoint of me. Okay. People complimented my hamstrings last time on this stuff. Yep, we know I'm losing body fat when the hamstrings are popping out like that doing this stuff. I don't like posterior chain development. It's a strong point for me. Right, that's a strong point for me. But again, I deadlift over 600 pounds. I do over 600 pounds without a belt, mind you. I've done it on camera this year, calibrated plates. It's not a point of debate. Without a belt. I'm going to keep getting that up. But yeah, a lot of this is really going to be, I'm going to train the deadlift still like my regular self. I'm going to keep training deadlift like a power lifter. I really need to. I love the deficits, but it is my ego lift. A conventional deadlift is my ego lift. But everything else, it's going to be, let's just get as thick and well developed as possible. Let's start coming in and working every weak link. Lengthen positions, full ranges of motion. Keep working the mobility. Okay? Starting to look better. I mean, right here, I almost look like a bodybuilder. Not quite. It's kind of a joke. That's a joke. Before people jump in. People get offended when I say that. You don't look shit like a bodybuilder. Right about you. You don't look like a bodybuilder. You look like Ronnie Coleman, But yeah, drop another 8 to 10 pounds of fat, put an inch of muscle on my arms. I think it'll be a completely different look. Quads are starting to fill back out from all the squatting. All right, and then we finished up with these pullovers. I really like these with the plate. This is really where I'm feeling now that I'm getting the most range of motion. Plus, it's just easy to set up into angles I can film. It's easy to set up. All right. Of course, I need the first set to kind of get into it. But look, I'm getting better range of motion. It's getting better. Oh, my God. It's almost to where I feel like I'd almost be able to do an overhead press. Not quite there. But people have to admit, look at the torso angle. It's getting better. Now, is it where it needs to be? No. It's dramatically better. I would say I have made 50% of the progress that I need to make there. That's a start. Because I need that to be all the way behind the head with a straight arm, right? That's what we need. That's what we have to have. I'm going to need to clip these a little bit. I wasn't going to clip any of this footage. I'm going to have to because my butt is sticking right in the camera when I grab that plate. So I'm going to clip the footage on these. It's going to make them a little bit shorter. But the pullovers are doing much, much better. Super happy with them. I'm really happy with today's workout. This was a hard workout. This is a little more volume than I'm used to doing. I'm doing it in a deficit, but my protein's high. I'm sleeping a crazy amount. Again, all of that's to compensate for normal hormone levels, unfortunately. That's what I chose to do. All right, we got to compensate for it. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.